Hey, how's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Doing well.
I'm pumped up.
I'm glad you guys could join us because in some form we've been talking about this since July, right? Between the four of us, we did for Virtual PopCon. We did what we wanted to see in season 2 of The Mandalorian. We did Black Friday, the mid-season recap, and what we thought we wanted to see in the rest of the season. And now we're here, and woo, man,
it's been a journey. That's for sure.
This will be spoiler heavy, so beware.
Yes. If you're tuning in and don't want to know any spoilers, this is not the show you want to be watching. So, where do we want to start?
Fear not, it will be archived on YouTube.
Yeah, it will be archived on YouTube. So, wow. I tell you what. Let's just start with this.
Go ahead.
What was your thoughts when you seen that X-wing fly in?
Okay, it could have been the Ranger.
Okay.
I thought it was Luke right away. I saw R2 in the back, and I got a serene calm, thinking like, okay, this is it. It's happening. This is our chance. I was thrilled. I thought it was perfect.
I can make out the R2 unit.
So
during the flyby. That's why I said I thought it was the Ranger.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally thought that it was like, oh, it's just the New Republic here, because I like betting odds last night. I was like, Luke's season 3 or 4, like he's not coming this early. And then when they were just like, when they pointed out it's just one X-wing, I'm like, oh, the man showed up. That's one person. Yeah. So I
thought when they were looking at the monitors and they said, oh, we got one X-wing, and then they went back to the gal looking at the monitors, I thought she was going to say, oh, there's more ships coming in. So I was like, oh, it's just Filoni flying in again, right? You know, because we've seen him a couple times this season. So
when did you realize it was Luke then?
Well, Leaf was jumping up and down beside me. So my 11-year-old son was going nuts. He's like, oh, it's going to be Luke. It's going to be Luke. I'm like, it could be Ahsoka. Let's calm down. You know, maybe she gets her hands on the X-Wing because, you know, according to Rob, they're easy to steal, as we can see in Empire. But that's a whole other thing to go down.
But we didn't see his 5 pips on the wings.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty small, even on my big TV, and it goes pretty fast. So I wasn't really paying attention to all the. I only watched it twice. I haven't like frame by framed everything. So
well, I did. I watched it again and did a freeze frame while it was on the monitor. And
so okay, I gotcha.
And I didn't even see the 5 stripes to indicate red 5.
I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be Luke, actually. I was like, maybe it's Kyle Katarn. Until he started, you seen the leather glove, right? You seen the black cloak, and then you seen the leather glove, and I was like, oh, now it's Luke. Yeah. So.
And the saber.
Chopping through droids like butter.
Yeah. So. And that's a mess of droids too.
So what about
a mess of droids? That's a platoon. It was a lot, man. He was cutting them. Wow.
You want to say something?
Go ahead.
I want Nathan to talk. Nathan, what were you gonna say? Yeah.
Well, so you didn't know if you wanted it to be Luke. What do you think about the fact that it was Luke now that you've seen, you know, the story? Are you happy with it? Not happy with it?
I was like getting goosebumps. Yeah. I was like, oh my goodness, this is cool. And I was just like, oh wow. I was just like, oh. This is awesome. I was like, Leaf, you got to shut up. All this stuff's going to be important from now on out. Just shut your mouth.
Yeah. My dad was like, "What's going on in here?" So I had to, because I was squeaking and all that.
I didn't get real like emotional until R2 showed up. That was when I was like, okay,
I got emotional right when we saw the green lightsaber. I go, "Oh yeah."
Yeah, this is what you wanted. But yeah, when R2 showed up, I was just kind of like, man, this little droid's seen like almost every major event in Star Wars, so it's cool that they decided to tie him into that as well. And how him and Grogu kind of talked for a second, and then got on the elevator, and then I don't know. I was.
Do you think he knew Grogu from the temple, or do you think he just recognized that he looked like Yoda?
I think he just recognized Yoda.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's a good question, because that's what I've been hearing, online, is that R2 recognized him from the temple.
I mean, he could have been around. I was gonna say R2 was around. R2 was around. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He never gets his memory wiped, so
No,
yeah.
If you're watching and want to comment, ask us a question, feel free to drop a chat. So, what was one thing that you said happened? So you're like, oh, really? You got to go this way again.
Sorry, Les, can you say the last part again? We didn't hear you.
That, please.
There was. Oh, I'm sorry. Were there any parts that were like on? Do we have to say this line again just because we're a Star Wars show? For me, it was, close the blast doors, right? And I was just like, the blast doors don't hold anybody back.
I'm trying to think. I thought it was fun in the beginning, but it seemed like every episode, like more than once, "dang Ferrick" was being said, and that got obnoxious to me. That everyone said that. Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's like being presented in a whole new way. So repeating lines, that's okay to me.
I actually thought the dialogue in this one was awesome. I loved the opening scene with the two troopers talking about watching Alderaan blow up and the conflict there. I wasn't necessarily too excited about what's her name getting her own show.
Cara Dune.
Yeah, Cara Dune. And I thought that made me more excited for that. I felt like we saw a little bit more into her character and what motivates her. So I thought that was really, really cool. I loved the part where Bo-Katan didn't really react to Boba Fett until he talked, right? Like they were just hanging out, cool, and then he talks, and it's like the room exploded, right? Like there was instant tension. I thought that was awesome. It was a really, really neat effect.
I've heard your voice over 1,000 times.
Yeah, that was cool. I really liked the fact that he got called a sidekick, and then after the trailer or after the episode shows that like he's no longer the sidekick. He's going to be the main part of whatever is coming. So
the book of Boba Fett, right?
Yeah, whatever that is, like whether it's the next season or another or a whole new show or literally a book about Boba Fett, whatever that's going to be.
Yeah, I don't really know. We can talk about that a little bit later, I think, as we dive in. Were you surprised Ahsoka didn't show up on the ship?
Yeah, I mean, it was a possibility.
or
Yeah.
in the entire episode. Were you surprised that she wasn't in the entire episode?
I thought it would have been odd storytelling where like she goes, "Hey, go to this place and a Jedi can help you." Then all of a sudden she shows back up and it's like, "Hey, I'm here to help." And it's like, well, why didn't you help in the beginning? That I felt like it would have been really strange storytelling to have her be like, "Hey, go this way." Well, I'll go that way too. Even though I told you I'm going that way.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So I was fine with her not showing up.
Yeah.
Yeah, after season,
I was
or
waiting
after
for
episode.
in the opening.
Go ahead, Les.
Go ahead, Nate. I was thinking that we were going to have a pan, like when we were in that first scene in the bar, they were going to scuffle, right? Do whatever they do. And then we're going to pan over and see her sitting in the corner, you know, like Strider, Lord of the Rings esque shot. You know, she's in a cloak type thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, and maybe she didn't do anything, but she was sitting there.
She's there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it could have been fun to have like everybody jump in and help him, right? Like get the docking bay lady from Tatooine, get Grief Karga. Like let's just get everybody. But I thought that after episode 7, we kind of knew that wasn't going to happen, right? Because they cut Bill Burr loose.
Yeah.
And he would have been in on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so after that, I kind of figured, nah, this is going to be a tight knit team. I was super happy that they went and picked up Bo-Katan, though. You know, that added an extra little element. I'm a big Bo-Katan fan. The only thing I didn't like about the episode was the discrepancy about the Darksaber, right? Because she was just fine taking it from Sabine.
Sabine gave it
to her, right? But she didn't have to fight her for it. So now all of a sudden she apparently has to win it in combat. So I'm curious to know if that ever gets explained. It had an interesting tension, but I didn't really like the disconnect there.
Oh, we got let me put this up on here. We have a comment. You reached out and found Luke or Ezra. I didn't think Ahsoka would have. Oh, okay, sure. Ezra, that would have been interesting to have Ezra come back in the season finale of this. That would have been. Never thought about that.
I think he's off with Thrawn though somewhere. So I think that the Ahsoka show is going to lead us in the direction of wherever Thrawn's at. And I think Ezra's somewhere with Thrawn. Since the last time we saw Ezra he was with Thrawn.
Yeah, and that goes to the point of how Bo-Katan got the saber. Remember that Sabine got it from, I believe it was, I don't think it was Dathomir, but she got it from where Darth Maul was hanging out.
Yeah. They take it from him?
Yeah. So
yeah, they took it from Maul, and then was it her cousin or something? I want to say they fight him. Sabine fights him, and then she gives it to Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
And at first, Bo's like, "No, I can't take it."
No, I don't think they were related. Okay. What was his name?
I forget.
Yeah.
No, but I know what he was. He was a super commando.
Right.
Imperial super commando.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
So, do you think, one of the questions that I was thinking about, do you think that Ahsoka knows about Luke out there?
I think it's hard not to. I mean, he's blown up the Death Star. He defeated the Emperor. I think everyone in the galaxy probably knows his name.
Knows the name, but not has met him.
Yeah, that's a tough one. My thought going into this season was that she was going to be like on a quest for him, and she was going to try and find him for some reason. I don't know, find the son of her former master. But Yeah, it wasn't anything close to that.
Yeah.
So I'm at a loss. With,
And
yeah.
also remember, Ahsoka left the order, so she's turned gray, if you will.
Yeah, but I think she's always somebody that's going to try to seek wisdom and knowledge no
Yeah.
matter where it's at, right? I mean,
Yeah.
So it's just kind of interesting, if they've hung out or she's went and seeked him out at all, or kept tabs on him or anything like that. So what do you think, Nate?
I kind of doubt it. I think she like all the other Jedi that survived Order 66, she kind of wants to let Luke forge his own path. And it's clear that she had an opportunity to take Grogu and didn't really want part of it. So I doubt Luke seeks her out. But if he did, I think that she would talk to him, and maybe teach him a little bit about Anakin. But yeah, I would think, if they had met at least prior to this, she would have said, "Well, I'm not going to train Grogu, but I know this other guy. Why don't you take him to him instead of just, we'll take him to Tython." Because I think Luke would have been to the point where he was gathering students at this point, right? So Ahsoka would have known that. So I don't think she, I don't think she's met him in person at this point.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I think he's probably already started the. We lost Steve. He's already started the Jedi Temple and the training stuff. Okay, so George chimes in and thinks that Luke would be like an urban legend or myth for those not involved with the Rebel Alliance, and she. Oh, that's a good point. She might have not have known that Anakin had kids, right? Because she's gone at that point in time.
Yeah, totally. I agree 100%. And then they did make that book that came out after Last Jedi that was like kind of like all the urban legends about Luke Skywalker, where some of them were true, other things weren't. So I assume that he is kind of like a boogeyman to some and savior to others.
Sure.
That I could totally see that.
Well, and like even the Mando doesn't really know what Jedi are, right? And
which is strange. Yeah. But I agree. I like that he even was just like, "Hey, are you a Jedi?" Yeah. All right, Les, hit us with the next question.
Has anybody translated what was on the menu board at the bar yet? You guys looked at that online yet? Sorry, it was what. So when they walk into the bar in the first scene, right, with Bo-Katan, and there's the whole menu board right behind them. And I was just like going, "Oh, I wonder how long it's going to take the people to translate all of that."
Okay.
Was it in Arabic?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
So I assume it's probably already out there.
I want to lay out a little scenario for you guys that I think would be pretty funny, right? Because we don't know what happens to Grogu after this. Presumably he goes to Luke's academy and trains for a while anyhow, right? But let's just say he survives Order 66, by being rescued from the temple.
Yeah.
He survives Luke's academy by being rescued from the temple. At some point, Rey or somebody is going to go to him and be like, "Hey, I'm refounding this Jedi Order. Why don't you come to my temple?" And he's like, "Get me out of the temples. I don't want anything to do with the temples." Temples are over 2.
I told multiple people today that I was like, "No, he's one of the Knights of Ren. He's sitting on someone's shoulders." He's the shortest Knight of Ren. So he is deep undercover. And that's how he's still alive. So.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, and there is like 19 years between where we're at in the timeline and by the time Luke's temple gets destroyed. I was looking some of that up just to kind of because Leaf's theory is that he's going to go with Luke, and the series is going to continue. And they're going to show him training with Ben Solo and that type of and that sort of thing. So, but that's an 11-year-old theory.
Is it 19 years until the temple gets destroyed, or 19 years till Force Awakens?
19 years between, from what I read, and I didn't like do a deep dive fact check this in multiple places. So it was one source said 19 years between where we are now and the destroying of Luke's temple.
Okay. Interesting.
Because we're at 9 ABY. Ben would be 4 right now. So he doesn't join the temple for another 6 years. So yeah, I did, just in case you guys were going to quiz me on any of that stuff. I didn't know all that stuff off the top of my head. So
did you see the fans trying to map out the galaxy before today's episode? They like used the map.
And they thought that we were going to be on Nar Shaddaa or something.
Yeah. I was like, my goodness, this fandom is nuts. That like, so the map that they showed for a brief moment when he got his face scanned, they like pointed where tattooing was at, and then they brought up the galaxy map, and it's like, all right, Gideon has to be in this area. And like looking at the main planets, I'm just like, wow, that is crazy that they could kind of figure that. Like they had a decent idea where he was at. Granted, wasn't on a planet; he was just in space. But thought that was wild that people were trying to figure that out.
We're gonna add Steve back. He must have had some connection issues. Michelle says that she doesn't think the temple's built yet, and I don't know what year Luke built the temple. I don't know off the top of my head, so I would have to go and research that. I don't know.
Could be an existing temple.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I don't know the timelines well enough that I know that like the temple was destroyed only a couple years before Force Awakens. Like he hadn't actually been Kylo Ren very long right before the events of Force Awakens. So I would have to agree with Michelle. I don't think the temple it has been built yet, or definitely I don't think the school has been founded yet. Maybe this is the first student of the school. Yeah, or maybe Grogu is the first student of the school.
That's a good point.
Yeah. George has another some comments. His only issues are the fight with Fett in the bar was too evenly matched, and no one got injured when moving through all the stormtroopers. Okay. It is Star Wars, you know. They left a blaster on the floor for Gideon to pick up. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Those
go
Imperial
ahead.
blasters, they don't work very well. They're poor quality.
Yeah. I guess I was okay with Boba Fett kind of getting knocked down a peg. That like, oh, you know, someone who's half your age wearing just the same kind of hardware you are, might actually be just as good as you. I was okay with that. Being at least even with him, because he can move through stormtroopers because he's wearing, you know, Mandalorian armor and you know, is a killing machine. So I kind of liked that it's like, all right, Boba Fett's cool, but like there's other cool people in the show too. So I was okay with that. And then I guess all of our heroes were wearing plot armor. That's why I thought that Bill Burr was going to come along so he could get shot in this episode. But yeah, and I actually thought Fennec was dead too. I thought that she was going to get killed. If anybody was going to die, was that she's part droid anyway. That she's just going to get, if someone's got to die, it'll probably be her. But yeah, I guess they were all wearing plot armor. So yeah. How about you guys?
Yeah. On Fennec, going a bit off topic, What do you think about her popping up in the Bad Batch?
I mean, that's cool. I mean, I like the connecting tissue between everything and makes everything worth watching, kind of like the Marvel stuff. But yeah, I'm okay with it.
I would agree with you, Seth. The Bad Batch was something that I really didn't need in that extra season of Clone Wars, to be honest with you. And seeing her in it is like this can be interesting now because we're going to learn more about this character. And I know your sidekick off camera there, Seth, is a big Clone Trooper fan. So, sorry if I offend that I didn't like the command.
She's got her headphones in. She didn't even hear you. So it's all good, though. But we all know she loves Clone Wars. Yeah, she does even. She just said, "Yes, I have a Clone Wars tattoo." So yes, she does have a Clone Wars tattoo. So yeah, that you did not offend her. It's okay.
Okay.
What would you guys think about WWE wrestler fighting Boba Fett?
I was fine with it because you bring up an excellent point. Boba Fett looks like he's been sitting around, drinking some spatchka a little bit too much, maybe. And
after fighting,
when you have somebody that's
Starlack,
when you have somebody that has equal armor in you, knows how to use it, is well trained, and is, like you said, half your age. Even if you're a badass, they're going to at least stand your equal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
What do you think of it,
Seth? I thought it was really fun, though, too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nathan, what you?
I thought it was cool. I'm not into the wrestling as much, but I don't know. It's fun. It's fun. I mean, it added tension. It was cool seeing. I kind of wanted to see the reaction of the people in the bar, like, this happens every day, or like, two Mandalorians going at it. Like, place your wagers.
Yeah, there's fire coming out of their hands.
Michelle, we'll get to your comment next. I wanted to make one comment about moving through all the stormtroopers. Why doesn't Cara Dune pick up one of their dang blasters when her gun jams? It's like there's 20 blasters on the ground. Pick one up.
Stubbornness. That's what I'm gonna go with. She'd rather hit them with her gun.
Blasters are decent blasters that the stormtroopers have. You know?
If you're up close.
I mean, I do like the gun that she has, though.
Yeah.
It's a variant of one of my favorite weapons from the first Battlefront.
Yeah, it was good in Battlefront, yeah.
So Michelle says that taking Grogu as his first student contradicts the movie that says Ben was his first student.
Well, there you go. I apparently need to watch the sequel trilogy more. Do
you though?
I can't. I don't know. I just got schooled right there. So yeah, I guess Grogu isn't going to be his first student. So yeah, I don't know then.
I don't know. Has he been training any? I mean, does he hand him off to somebody else to train?
I don't know. I mean, everyone keeps saying Mace Windu's out there for some reason, so maybe he just passed him off to Mace Windu. So there's that.
Luke said, "I will protect the child with my life." Right?
True.
That sounded like a pretty personal pledge.
But if you say, "Okay, I'm going to let Kyle Katarn train him," and
let it go.
Let us watch over everything or whatever. I don't know. I'm just trying to I've been reading a little bit about what some fans want. So,
well, this is a new Praxium, so the rules have changed.
Yeah, sure. I get that too.
Yeah.
So they've said there's going to be a season 3.
Yes.
Thoughts? What do you think, Steve?
About season 3.
Yeah.
I have to say it's up in the air right now, because of that kick-ass post-credit scene, because we don't know where it's going.
Okay.
We don't know where it's going.
Right. So, Seth, what do you think, man?
Do you guys like Game of Thrones? Because I think it's going to be just like Game of Thrones. I think it's going to be politics on Mandalore. I think it's going to be fighting over Darksaber. I think it's going to be asking Boba Fett for help. I think it's going to be just all kinds of craziness on Mandalore because apparently he's technically Mandalore now. So he rules the planet, like even though he doesn't want to. So I think it's going to be kind of like that, where we're getting like the inner workings of how Mandalorians work, like how Mandalorian society works. Yeah.
Right, but isn't there a little something there going on? I don't know if it's tension or like, man, you look hot in that Beskar. You
want that?
I don't know. It would be interesting.
What do you think?
How does she get?
The
leader is get hitched and not get Darksaber, sorta.
Gotcha.
It does make everything easier if they get hitched, right? I mean that would be nice and convenient. I almost think it's too easy. I hope you're right though, Seth. I hope we're going to Mandalore and we keep following Bo-Katan and Din. There's the possibility that the Boba Fett story, the Book of Boba Fett, is season 3 of The Mandalorian, and I want more Star Wars, so I hope that those are separate.
But what about,
I think if Din and Bo-Katan end up getting hitched, I think that it's not going to be right away. There'll be some tension.
What about Death Watch, of which Din is a part of?
Well, do you think Death Watch is even around anymore? I mean, I think Mandalorians are kind of few and far between anymore.
Well, true, but I'm saying that is a covert, was hidden, which was Death Watch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he did kind of show his face to several people this season. So
my point exactly.
Yeah,
I'm thinking that his first encounter with a bow, put him on a crisis of faith.
Mm-hmm.
So
watch him renounce everything and just be a normal Mandalorian, calling it next season. It's like, hey, who cares?
I'm right with you.
Yeah. Random thought.
What are your thoughts? What's your thoughts, Nate?
Yeah, I mean it's clear
season 3.
He can't go back to Death Watch, right? That's not an option for him at this point. They'll reject him. So I think that's a good thing. I think Death Watch, while it serves its purpose, it's less interesting to watch characters from Death Watch because they only really care about a couple things, right? And so now he can take pride in potentially rebuilding a culture, and actually he could be a really good case study because Bo-Katan knows what the Mandalorian culture is supposed to be, and she has the perfect blank slate to kind of mold into a real Mandalorian. And so I think that could be really interesting and could help us understand, the goal when reaching the masses.
Okay. We got some listener comments here. George thinks that season 3 will take a drastically new direction, a new mission, and questioning his deep Mandalorian religious views. And Michelle agrees with him. Okay, I could see. I don't know where I wanted to see it go. I think I could see somehow that Moff Gideon escapes the New
He's got to
Republic.
Hannibal Lecter it.
What's that?
He's got to like Hannibal Lecter it, where he's like in prison and he's like talking smooth and everything behind the bars, and then eventually he's busted out, probably by Thrawn. But
yeah, that would be a great way to bring Thrawn into the into the whole mix. Yeah. Do you think they paid?
Who would you like to see play Thrawn?
I think who played him in the cartoon? It's Ben Mendelsohn.
That was Lars Mikkelsen.
Yeah, that guy.
Mads Mikkelsen's brother.
That guy. He can do it. He looks like an alien. Sounds like an alien.
I think Seth Fisher should play Thrawn.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, question.
Lars is my personal choice.
Could you see me as Thrawn? Okay, no. That is a no. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Put a little lizard on your shoulder.
Yeah, I could have like a
Ysamari, yeah.
Yeah. So
you didn't get a call for the Obi-Wan shoots as
no,
Hayden Christian.
I don't. I don't know. And I try these things. Like I say things on Twitter that I'm like, hey, I'll do this. Nothing. But I'm gonna keep trying. Someday I'll get to be Hayden Christensen's stunt double. I know it.
There you go.
Yeah.
So George just says he likes Luke Evans for Thrawn. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. Is it Jason Adams? The guy that voiced the Inquisitor.
Jason
Isaacs.
I forget his name.
Malfoy.
Jason Isaacs, sorry.
Yeah. Lucius.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Jason Isaacs, I think he has the right facial features to play Thrawn.
Okay.
Right.
What about
I think that and I think he has the body type. He could do it too. Where he's because Thrawn's not just the brains. He's like physically a warrior. So he did stuff in the Patriot where it's definitely believable that he's that type of guy. So
what about Benedict Cumberbatch?
You had a question, Seth?
That's another thing. That's another person I've seen mentioned.
Benedict Cumberbatch. That guy looks like an alien. He could do it.
And plus, he has a good relationship with Disney.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
He certainly has experience playing the mastermind, right? I mean, he was good in Sherlock, so I could see him fitting in well there.
Mm-hmm.
I think R2 said Cumberbatch was the right choice. That was what happened.
Yeah. Good call, R2.
Yeah.
So is Rangers of the New Republic is Moff Gideon escapes and they got to go hunt him down, and that's that whole story.
Yeah.
What do you think? Thoughts?
I could see that, and I could also see too if Bill Burr's character is going to show back up. I think it's in that show, and like he gets deputized or something like that. That kind of changes to the New Republic and everything like that. And again, more world building as characters are going back and forth across shows. Because I think there's going to be a lot of that with these 4 shows where people cameoing back and forth across all the shows, making it like must-see TV, basically.
As if it isn't already.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's true, but there's only one show right now. So, yeah.
I will be really interested to see if that one's mostly clashes with the vestiges of the Empire, or if that's more clashes with like pirates and trying to keep order.
I'd like to see a bit of both.
I think it could be a bit of both, but the main plot line, is it going to be Moff Gideon or some Imperial guy that's the main bad guy that we're trying to go get, or is it going to be a criminal mastermind Maybe Boba Fett. Hopefully not Boba Fett.
No. He's happy on Tatooine, so it's all good.
Yeah, if it's going to be a imp of the week, who else would like to have them tangle with?
Oh,
I think more new characters. I
Established or completely new?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Thrawn's the end game. I don't think that he really. Yeah. I think he's just kind of like mentioned in all these shows, and then like when they all come together, that's going to be he's the big bad. They all have to deal with. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gideon almost took the role of Usain Isard from the Legends, right? Like he was the big intelligence guy. So I don't think she's coming back. Maybe we see a Dala or something like that, but I have to guess that they're just gonna make their own characters.
Zinj would be good.
I don't know that one.
I got nothing.
Yeah, trying to. I can't think of the names of the. Like, there's three. There was Thrawn, and there's two other guys in the Thrawn books that kind of led that thing. So those.
Well, Pillion would be with Thrawn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and like Tarkin still. No. Let me think.
No, he had a front row seat to GS1's explosion.
Yeah. And then just go through. Just head and sorry, I wasn't ready for that question.
Unless he took his aide's advice and split.
He's in a jillion pieces.
So do you think the Lando thing, the Lando spinoff or the Lando show gets incorporated into this era of the universe, or are we going to see more like prequel stuff?
I'd go Civil War with Donald Glover.
I agree. I want old man Billy D like narrating it, and then it goes into and then it goes into Donald Glover like having an adventure.
That would be cool. So it's like him like hanging out with a bunch of ladies telling stories.
Yep.
About how his youth.
And he's in a hot tub.
I like
girls,
it. I like
boys,
it.
Men, creatures, it doesn't matter. Everybody's welcome in the hot tub. And telling stories of funner days. Like that's what I want.
I would tune in and watch that. That would be
great.
Every week I would watch that. It'd be so good.
Tell us another story, Uncle Lando.
Exactly. And then I would love too that if they kind of tie some stuff back in with Solo with that, like get Alden Ehrenreich and get Chewie to come in for a couple episodes. And then we could kind of wrap up some more Solo stuff
that would be doubtful.
Yeah, that I assume there's more story.
Doubtful, but it would be cool though.
Mm-hmm. So,
because you know that famous line by Lando.
Mm-hmm. Which one?
When they first met on Cloud City.
Mm-hmm. Which one? You got a lot of guts coming here after what you pulled? That one?
Exactly.
Yeah. So got about that.
If they've bumped into one another, since Solo, that would be moot.
Yeah, and it also gives you a chance too that you could have some of like maybe not Boba Fett, but some of the other minor bounty hunters that we saw in Empire Strikes Back to kind of make cameos and stuff like that. I think that that's a good way to show off some of the scum and villainy of the Galactic Civil War.
Yeah, I would like to see like Bosk. I don't know that we need another IG-88, an IG series droid. We've seen God's plenty of those, but like Zuckuss, Forlom, I'm there for Dengar even, come on.
Yeah, Simon Pegg play Dengar.
I like it.
He's already a Star Wars character, though, right?
Yeah, but he's under.
Dengar, have him because he was a famous racer back in the day.
Yeah, and they could do that with Han and him and everything, and show kind of the backstory of that, why he hates Han.
Okay, so one thing we haven't talked about is the whole cloning aspect of this series. So are we building up to cloning the Emperor?
Yes.
Is that what we're heading towards? Or are we looking at like the Reborn, or are we looking at some other cloning stuff that has been in the Star Wars universe?
I think without a doubt it's they are trying to make force sensitive bodies for Palpatine's soul to reside in, or spirit to reside in. Like the music cue during that is Palpatine's music. Like during that scene when they're looking at all. Yes, and then you also hear some of the First Order's theme. So if music is any indication, like I don't see how it could be anything else. Unless they're making like a force sensitive soldier or something like that. But I think they're making clone bodies for Palpatine. Baby Snokes. Something. Anybody else? I'm rambling. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree with you. I think that's a perfectly reasonable explanation. I think it's interesting. I don't know that we know exactly what happened to Dr. Pershing, but I assume that they still have him, right? So my big question would be, did you not like interrogate him to figure out what they were doing and go destroy all the bodies?
Good point. Or no,
maybe that's what the Rangers are going to do. The Rangers of the New Republic. They're going to go hunt down all the clone facilities.
Could be.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, but they probably need someone more powerful than a handful of Rangers.
Mm-hmm. Well, do you guys think that Gideon shipped off the Exegol?
I think he shipped off the blood, right? I mean, it's clear it wasn't on the cruiser because he got what he wanted, right? Yeah. So he shipped it off somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or it's still on the ship, but in a secure location.
Mm-hmm.
We got some comments coming in. George would like to see the surviving Hutts playing the role in some of these new series that are coming out. So the Ahsoka series, the new Rangers. And I think it would be pretty easy to do. It's not unheard of. They did it in the Clone Wars. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And plus, with Jabba, Jabba's posting, if you will, vacated, Yeah, they probably want to find out what happened.
I would also like to see that. I mean, I want to see that part of the galaxy. I want to see the scum and the villainy, and see without any kind of driving force in the Empire, what or driving force like in the galaxy, like trying to control it, like what smaller groups, like how they operate and try to take over things and stuff like that. So any kind of world building, I'm all about it, and seeing how things work.
Well, I think that's that seems to be like, having read the Ahsoka book, having seen the one episode that she's in and here, that seems to be maybe what they do with that show. where she goes and saves a world a week, or takes down a imperial farming thing, every week or whatever. I don't know. Her and Sabine, they go try to find Ezra, and they wind up, blowing up some factories along the way. That's my thing. George has a comment about the cloning. It's just trying to fix issues with the sequel trilogy, so it makes more sense.
Yeah.
I didn't have a problem with it because I mean, maybe it's because I've read some of the EU books, and that comes up in some of the novels as the clones of the Emperor are in there. So,
and in the novelization of Rise of Skywalker, they explain it a little better about how that he has clone bodies, and that like he's really more Rey's dad than Rey's grandfather, because it's a clone of him that escapes and isn't force sensitive, that finds a woman and gets married and then has a child, and that turns out to be Rey, but it's his clone. And like, yeah. So, but yes, anything to try to make like stitch that better. I look at it like this: like when in-game, like going into like the Infinity War and Endgame, like Thor: Dark World was not one of my favorite movies, but they featured Thor in Endgame, and then that made me go back and watch Thor: Dark World to see like if there was any kind of more connections and stuff like that. I hope that's what they're kind of doing with Mandalorian, is like, hey, we're gonna put all these little thread lines into the show, and then that's gonna make you want to watch the sequel trilogy and be like, oh, that's cool, and like all these things tying it all back together and making it seem like more of a cohesive thing.
So we have about 8 minutes left. Is there any of the new stuff that got dropped last week, or anything else about the Mando that you guys want to talk about? I think we kind of covered a lot of where we think the story will go. Did we miss anything that's on anybody's list?
I have one big question for Seth, which is, what did you think of Luke's fighting style and the block of the blaster bolt over the back, like Anakin?
I know.
That was awesome, right?
I know. And then what about this? Okay, my wife brought this up. Is when Grogu's like got his hand up on the on the screen. She's like, what if he's remembering Order 66? That's a guy in a cloak chopping through things. And I'm like, whoa.
Because he would have been in the temple, right?
Yeah,
a guy fighting like Anakin. Chopping through
chopping stuff. But yes, I agree. I noticed that. The block backwards and the droid shot itself. Yeah.
That was awesome.
Well, my big question when Luke's fighting it, like when he steps off the elevator, why doesn't he just force push all those guys? Right? It's just a force poof, and they all go flying.
Because he's got to have a cool hallway scene like his dad.
Okay, I guess.
I agree, Les. I always want more from my Luke, right? It doesn't matter what he does. I want him to have bigger, better force powers, because I know he has that in him. But
well, I
still thought it was awesome. I still thought it was great. The Force Crush was cool.
Yeah.
I would have liked more Force powers, but I was still happy.
Yeah. So, what was your take on the Tarkinization of Luke?
How they got
de-aged?
Deep fake.
Huh?
They deep faked him. They like put his face on someone else's body.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, or refaced him. Yeah.
It got it's okay.
At least it wasn't moving. It stood there and spoke, which I thought helped it a lot.
Yeah. For a second I was like, on what is this? Is this right out of Jedi?
Yeah.
Or what?
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't
speaking.
Yeah,
I agree.
Right? I was like going, these scenes could have been cut right out of Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, and you'd play with the face a little bit, and it was just like all these lines are like, "Come here, little buddy," are all stuff I think he said before.
I think it was stuff he had said before, and then it was like stuff they ran through a mixer to kind of make it sound like stuff he had said before.
Yeah.
The one thing that I didn't like, there was one shot, and this is just me being a graphics guy, is the hallway shot of him walking away, the lighting hitting the back of his head was a little, that's just me being judgy, but you guys are Lucas. Thank you. Have somebody to look at that.
Sebastian Stan to play him, but
what's that?
The actor that have you seen that picture of Sebastian Stan?
I have. Yeah.
I really wanted that. I don't know. It's like, why did they just have him play it? But again, it's cool to have Mark come back and be able to play the character in a capacity.
Yeah.
Right. But I think it limits you, right, in your story, in your storytelling, because now you're not going to make a CG Luke Skywalker for all these other series that are out there, right? This would have been the time to go, okay, we pull back the hood and here's your new Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Everybody.
Unless he's not going to be used much.
I'm with you, Les. I'm disappointed that they didn't do it. I don't think it means that they can't ever, right? I mean, they just released 10 new shows, right? So in 5 years, when Disney needs another little stock boost uptick, maybe they give us a real Luke. But I think it's pretty clear from the CG version, we're not getting a focus on Luke for a long, long time still.
And I'm fine with that because I don't need to know more of Luke's story, I don't think. I would like to know more about these characters. I would want to learn more about, pick one, Cara Dune, Boba, how Bib Fortuna gained that much weight in, 9 years?
5 years?
5 years?
He got it done, man. He just sat.
Wow. And he never cut his fingernails. That's just nasty.
Yeah. You have long fingernails?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's what happens when you lose your boss.
Yeah.
I guess. And so Leaf brought up a great point. He's like, how does that guy get to sit there?
Well, how did he get on the sail barge?
Huh?
He was on the sail barge. How did he get
on?
on?
No, he wasn't. No, he was. Well,
isn't he?
Why would he be? Because he's Jabba's major domo.
I don't remember. I would have to go back and look.
I don't remember seeing him on the sail barge. He might have been there.
I think he's grinning on the sail barge when he's like, Jabba, this is your last chance. Free us or die. I think he smiles at that point. Maybe he's not.
Maybe there's an escape skiff that we didn't see.
Probably. There's probably hundreds of them with all kinds of characters. It's probably the same way Boba Fett got out. There was an escape skiff. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
But the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like there's just so many characters that could have decent or interesting story. Even Bill Burr's character, you could have a show about that. Just his character.
He was better this season. He was leagues better this season.
Oh.
Like his character was very interesting in this outing, as opposed to, I hated that episode in the first season with him in it. I was like, pass. I don't want to see those characters ever again.
Oh, I was ready to see those characters again.
Really?
I want more of those folks. Yeah. Really? I want some of It's
because you are one of those characters, though.
It could be. Yeah.
Ah, there it is.
There he is.
There it is. Good to see you.
We pulled a lot of good jobs back in the day, Mando.
Yes, there it is. Like,
we're gonna need your ship, Mando.
The droid's a good driver.
next year's cosplay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Nathan, this is super off topic, but that Jawa back there is really creepy.
Thank
Like,
you.
yeah, how it's just chilling back there. I keep
Oh yeah.
yeah. Sorry, that's super off topic, but yes.
I have it in the background of all my meetings now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just expecting it to start
Nice.
walking forward to you. That like yeah.
No, it's
Whipping
just a
angel.
mannequin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we're at an hour, so you guys have any last thoughts, or have we got everything covered that we need to talk about? I know between Seth
go on.
and Nick and I know we could talk for another 2 hours about stuff, but we probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the future is bright for Star
Right.
Wars, and I think it's a good time to be a fan.
No argument for
It
me
really is.
Mm-hmm.
on that point.
Yeah.
Are you guys
I,
excited for the new novelizations from the High Republic?
I think so. Yeah, I am. I think it'll be interesting. That's the
More Star Wars is always a good thing.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree. That's been our mantra for a long time. So I want to thank you guys for coming in short notice, because we threw this together about 6 o'clock this evening. And Steve, thanks for kind of prodding the bear to get us to move. So it's been fun. I love talking Star Wars with you guys. And who knows? Do we know when Bad Batch or any of this stuff releases?
Not offhand.
Got any dates? Okay. Well, we'll do this again sometime. When all this stuff, I'm sitting here looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, plus the Book of Boba might be 12 different series coming out. We could be talking a lot. Stay tuned.
Yep.
Thanks for coming in, guys. I really appreciate it.